Hi, this is Shamel, and thanks for tuning in for our first video as part of the new class Beyond Blogging for Scrapbookers. Today I'm here with 5 ways to help you beat blogger's block. That sort of feeling that you get when you want to write a blog post but you're not sure what to write about, and then it becomes a little bit more intimidating because you feel like you need to write a blog post but you're still not sure what you want to write about. And it just keeps on going like a bit of a bad cycle so that you can't figure out where to go from here. So 5 quick ideas for you to get past the block and get on with the blog post. First things, go with pictures rather than words. Some days words are just going to be way too much. There might be something on your mind or there might be nothing on your mind, and you know you want to blog, but it's the feeling of actually writing something that hangs really heavy. If that's the case, don't force the words. Just take a word-free option, like focusing on pictures. If you enjoy photography, you can go take some pictures, even if it's just through the window because it's a really blustery day or you're not very well. Or instead of taking pictures, go through your photo library and look at old pictures. Find something you haven't shared that gives you some sort of emotional response. That might actually be enough that you'll want to start writing again, but don't feel like you have to go through your old photos with that in mind. You can just focus on the visual and not have to worry about words at all if they aren't coming to you. If that doesn't sound right, maybe photography is not your thing, you can also focus on the visual by blogging about things that other people have created. Do a bit of daydreaming and searching for photos or projects or going through your bookmarks and create a blog post about that. You'll need to make sure that you credit the photographers, the designers, and if necessary, ask their permission to blog about their work. But a post like that would need just a few words to explain the gathering of visuals, but not much writing really. Something as simple as a title of what's inspiring me today, or a note about a day of daydreaming via the internet, things I would buy for my wardrobe if I had an endless amount of money, anything like that that could just sum up your collection. A post of just visual inspiration can cheer you up too if perhaps you are feeling a little bit down and all the pretty pictures you can collect might make you feel better, or looking back at photos of happy days that you want to remember can also, bring your spirits up a little bit. Number 2, get involved in a group blogging event or a challenge. Have a look around the world and get involved with something else. Use somebody else's idea and participate. If you're feeling stuck with your scrapbooking, maybe try a sketch or a product challenge. There are plenty of those. Create something and post the results on your blog. It doesn't require a lot of writing, just a little bit of a note of what you created and where you got the inspiration. And challenges like that also, they quite often involve prizes. So you might find it's a real kickstart to your creativity if you got lucky to win something. That never hurts. Or if that sort of challenge isn't your thing, maybe join a blog hop with some classmates or some blogging friends. Somebody else can come up with a theme and then you can just play along. And that takes the scary part, the blocked part of writer's block away. And it's a lot easier if somebody else is telling you what you need to write sometimes. So sometimes creativity is just about keeping things going until the right idea magically comes to your mind and your fingertips. So just finding ways that you can find something on the internet that welcomes your involvement. It might be a challenge or a charity drive. And if you're stuck with a big basket of scrap papers and not a lot of creative inspiration because you're bogged down by the excess clutter and the supplies, maybe turn them into cards for ill children or soldiers or people who've lost their homes in a disaster. There are drives for all 3 of those in the crafty part of the blog world. And those are the kind of situations where everybody wins. I mean, you get to cut and paste and use up the supplies that were weighing you down. Then you have completed cards or other projects that you can blog. And of course, the people who are going to receive your cards will be happy that what you've created is going to a good cause. So everything there works out for the best. If you have a look around and find something you can join in that just suits you and go with the flow rather than feel like you have to create something that's brilliantly brand new every single day, that can really help you just keep going until your creativity's back and your idea comes to mind and suddenly you want to write again. Option number 3, return to an older post. Instead of looking at other blogs, go back and look at your own. Look at what you wrote a year ago today, or just randomly surf through your own archives. Find a post that you love and think about expanding on it. Or if there's something more that you want to say, just find one picture from that post, or maybe if it's something that's still in your home, take a new picture and write a short post indicating that you were thinking about that particular post from your archives and wanted to share it with everybody. Because not all of your readers will have been around when you first wrote it, and you might reintroduce something, or like sometimes at Christmas, if you're blogging lots of Christmas projects over the years, and then when it gets busy at Christmas, you can link back to those older posts when you don't have time, because people won't have seen them, or they'll need the reminder because it's been at least a year since they've seen them. So you can go back and link to older posts, mention older posts, or expand on older posts. And you can just pick the things that inspire you from what you've already created. Or you can also use your blog statistics to see what posts are your most popular. If your real aim right now is to get more traffic, you could write more on the topics that generate the most readers by looking at your most popular posts. But that might be something for a different day entirely. Just up to you and what your goals are right now, if you just want to keep writing or if you're looking to get more people reading. Option number 4, take a break. Sometimes the very best thing you can do is step away from the blog. Take a break from your blog, from social media, from the internet, from television, mobile phones, radio, newspapers, the whole lot. Just take a break. Many times, not knowing what to create comes from seeing too many things that we want to create. Too many ideas can actually cause us to feel like we don't really have any ideas at all. It also makes it feel like it's hard to be original sometimes. So one day reading blogs gives you dozens of new ideas and lots of creative energy, and then another day you're reading the same blogs and you're left wondering how you ever became a crafter, or how you declared yourself a creative person, why you're a blogger, because you really just want to sit still and appreciate silence. If you feel that way, do it. Sit still and appreciate the silence. There's much to be gained from stepping away from constant noise, and whether that comes from actual sound or from words and pictures on your screen. Switch it off and never apologize. Unless somebody is paying you to blog, or you've made a promise to write about something, then there's never any reason to be sorry for taking time off. I start all my scrapbooking classes by saying there is no stress in scrapbooking, because we do this for fun, and I really believe if it starts to be stressful, you should stop and get back to the way that was enjoyable. Your blog's exactly the same. Unless your blog is a business, you can drop it at any time for any length of time without any obligation to anybody else. If you're feeling like blogging is work without reward, then that's not fun for you right now. Change it up. If that means putting your blog on hiatus, just do that and don't worry about it. If it means taking a weekend or a week or 2 weeks away and then coming back with a fresh perspective, do that. Use your time away from media to think calmly. You may find you start to write blog posts in your head, or at least come up with some ideas. If that's the case, then you'll return to your blog with renewed energy and everything will be good. If not, just go with the flow and return to your blog if and when you feel you have something to share. Do this on your terms and on nobody else's. And number 5 is to be honest. Some bloggers feel that the internet creates this pressure for your blogged life to seem really perfect, because there are bloggers out there with beautiful homes and beautiful projects and beautiful children who all speak 6 languages fluently and who have never ever been car sick or said a rude word loudly in a shop because they didn't know what it meant. These bloggers seem to have gone through life without worrying about bills, never getting stuck in an argument, and never ever having a broken image in one of their blog posts. Well, if that's how it seems, then that's just not honest. Yes, they may show pictures of their gorgeous home, but it doesn't always look like that. In fact, it may have only looked like that for 5 minutes, and what you can't see is all the stuff removed from the shot and stacked up behind the camera. I know, because I've done that. Their children may be beautiful, but they too have spilled things down their Easter dress and had temper tantrums in the shopping center. They've just chosen not to show you that stuff. That's what creates this pressure. You probably choose not to show all that stuff, even if you share some of it. If we're the editors of our own stories, because we're bloggers, then why not show the positive stuff more than the negative? But there's always room to be honest. If you're feeling rubbish and not sure what to write, every once in a while let your readers know. Ask them a question. Ask what's inspiring them. Ask them for music recommendations or their favorite book. Ask them how they managed to dye Easter eggs without also dyeing the table, the china, the dog, and the fingertips of the entire neighborhood. Lots of negativity on a blog will tend to drive people away. But moments of honesty can endear your readers to you, flaws and all, so they want to stick around and help. Every once in a while, don't be afraid to let your guard down and write a short post because that's all that comes to mind, and ask their help. Ask for their help if it's useful to you. And that's 5 things. But there's one more, one little extra. There's also a lot of value in having a list of go-to posts that are really easy to write. That's a different thing than Blogger's Block. But it's related. Maybe you're quite happy to write, but you're just not sure what to write. Well, that's the topic of our next video, so I'll see you with that later in class, and we'll go through lots of different things that you can customize to your own style and that suit all different kinds of crafty blogs. So that's all for today, and I'll see you in class.